I'm really feeling the fact that I didn't get out and paint this week. It's become sort of integral, I think, to my overall happiness and well-being. And for various reasons, we didn't get out to paint. We went shopping instead. And I don't like it, guys. I really don't like it. I like to do that painting outdoors once a week. It's my new kind of treat, I guess. It's a treat. And I think that's quite overlooked, that ability. I mean, we all know about going outdoors, don't we? And how, going for a walk is really good for mental health and fresh air and exercise and, being at one with nature and all that. But painting has exactly the same effect, if not even more, I would say, even more. So I'm really looking this coming week to take a day off from music. I've got orchestra on Thursday, and that means that the 5-hour practices a day are going to stop on Thursday, and I'm going to get that down to maybe 1 or 2 hours a day. It's really, really difficult, but I've actually, I've sort of done about 5 Suzuki books in a couple of weeks, and in terms of how I feel about my abilities with the double bass. Loads of gaps, because in 3 weeks you can't understand an instrument fully and its full potential. But what I have done is I've got the map of the notes. I know where the notes are, up and for what I need for the moment. Not to be a solo performer, but I'm keen to get there. I really like this instrument. I think this is my I don't know how to say it, but I really like the viola as well. I'm very much into the viola. And it's interesting because as somebody who's always considered themselves as a cellist, but the cellist was really starting to give me such a lot of pain. And that's quite interesting, isn't it? Why it was doing that. Well, I have trouble sitting. That's the first thing. I have a lot of trouble sitting down. It gives me terrible neck and arm ache. It's all linked with, I think, RSI and the computer. And I'm kind of working out that my body doesn't really like sitting down. Now, I find standing up with the double bass quite difficult, so I have to put a chair behind me and cock a leg so that my leg supports the double bass. That's the only way I can play it. I'm just not big enough to stand up with it and be able to play a lot of these tricky passages, because there's nothing to lean against. I can't lean it on my shoulder, it's too heavy. So there are, kind of ergonomic issues with it. I could stand up and play a walking bass line. That would be very doable. But as soon as I start getting the fiddly bits in, lower down on the fingerboard, the sort of the different positions, then, I can't do it. I actually need to, work out the best way physically with this, because we're all different sizes, aren't we? I don't know if the orchestra are going to give me a stool. It would be quite nice if I got a stool, but the thing is, I've sort of worked out this way I do it now, but I can't imagine they're going to want me to cock a leg because I'll probably be right on the edge. No, I'm going to put the good player needs to be right on the edge. He can cover me. He needs to be seen. I want to be in with the wallpaper, as this is my first orchestra with these guys and my first go at this instrument. Anyway, I'm at a level now where I'm playing 2 of the pieces at 80%, and I'm going to try and get up to 90% today. That's speed, and then the one at 100% speed. So, I'm pretty sure with over the next few days, I'll be able to fudge my way through it, and then in the next 3 weeks, I think I'm going to be fine. So that it has really paid off doing all these hours each day. But you do have to consider that if you commit to something like a 6-hour daily practice, that's full-time work, and there is really, no time for anything else. So I didn't get my painting done. There are some things I wanted to do that just I haven't achieved. And this is why so few people put that much effort in, because they've got full-time jobs as well. So you think you've got to come home at night and, well, maybe you'd have, a couple of hours before you went to work, and then you come home and you do another 4 hours, that sort of thing. And people do that. A lot of musicians have to supplement their income with a proper job, as it were. So yeah, I mean that's pretty difficult, isn't it? And human beings are all the same. Well, no human being doesn't need to practice. They can just pick it up and play beautifully. Although I think Mozart might have been pretty good at a lot of instruments. But once you play one, it does help all the others. So you can get away with practicing them less, if you see what I mean. Well, I picked up the viola the other day, and I felt I knew where the notes were and everything, but I'd sort of forgotten the spacing of the strings and how to hold the bow. I mean, I picked it up very, very quickly. I haven't played my cello all this time. Haven't played it for ages. I might leave that until next week. So yeah, all really interesting. Anyway, I am going to. I feel quite good now with my bass skills, and keen to get teaching. So I'll start the Suzuki bass for real as well next week. So all that's good. All that's good, my friends. So I'd better get on and start my practice, and I'll let you know later on if I'm up to full speed, or maybe tomorrow or something. There's just no time anymore, is there? There's no time.